to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a quick review of the new cream blushes that were launched from Armani Beauty. I purchased these on the Armani website, but it looks like they are now available at other retailers. Wherever I find them, I will link them in the description box down below. I had many of you guys ask me if I was going to be picking these up. In fact, I hadn't even heard of them. I think when these were launched, I might have just been coming home from vacation, so these kind of slipped my radar, and one of you was kind enough to ask me if I was going to be reviewing them. Had no idea what they were talking about, so I decided to pick them up, see what I feel about them, and share my thoughts. These are the new Neo Nude Melting Cream Blushes, and I had to say that like 6 times to say it right. But these each retail for $38. They're made in Korea, and you get 3.5 grams worth of products. Not a lot of product for how much they are, but they are Armani, so there you go. Now, I ordered 2 shades in these. This is shade number 30, which is a warm coral. And I also accidentally ordered this shade. This was not on purpose. This is shade 21, which is described as a warm brown. I meant to order the mauve one, but somehow I ordered this one. Now, these actually come in 9 shades. What makes this a little bit more unique, in my opinion, is the shades are more unique, which is interesting because a lot of the cream blushes that we have that are already launched are in these very bright pops of color, and these are more subtle, a little bit more on the nude side. These 2 shades are very unique in my collection. I will be doing swatches and comparisons of these shades next to other products, but I can tell you right now, I didn't have a lot. But just so you guys can kind of see the tone and how they will compare, I will definitely still share those swatches and comparisons, but I really don't have anything like these 2 shades in my collection. So the description on these, it says it is a multi-use cream blush with a lightweight oil in powder formula that seamlessly adds color to the cheek and the eye for a natural matte makeup look. So you can use these on the cheek and the eye, which I can tell by the formula, they would totally work on the eye as well. For those of you out there who are familiar with Natasha Denona's eyeshadow palettes, she's got multiple different formulas. One of the formulas is a cream to powder formula where it's creamy, but it kind of blends out into a matte, but it's a creamy texture. It's cream to powder. That is exactly how these feel. When you touch this compared to the Natasha Denona cream to powder, they feel very similar. So if you're familiar with that formula, you will kind of know what I'm talking about. And the nice thing about this is that it's very buildable and very blendable. Because of the texture of it, you can dip the brush down in and just kind of tap it into place, and you can build the pigment from there. So it's not like a ton of color all at once and you have to work to blend it. So this is a very interesting formula, especially for blush. Now, I don't know that I would fully recommend spending the money on this for the eyes. You could totally do that. We're going to go ahead and jump into the application. I'm going to show you guys how I applied both of these shades and what they look like on my skin tone. And if you're new to my channel, I will leave a list in the description box down below of popular foundations out on the market and what shades I wear in those foundations, so you can kind of get an idea. Right now, I'm a little bit bronzy because I am going on vacation with my daughter. She and I are going to take a little girls trip, and I already had a little bit of a tan, and I did put a little bit of fake tan on, so I'm extra bronzy right now. But for the sake of the video, I will definitely leave a list of popular foundations out on the market and what shades I wear. Let's go ahead and jump into the applications, and then of course we will jump into the swatches and comparisons, and then of course I will jump into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so let's jump into trying out these new blushes. Now, I just noticed that I messed up on ordering. I ordered 2 shades, but this shade is not the shade that I wanted. I actually wanted to order shade 50, which is like a cool mauve tone, but I ordered shade 21, which is a warm brown. Of course, I will swatch this, and I will swatch it next to other things that I have. I'm curious to see what this will look like on the skin. And then I also ordered shade 30, which 30 is considered to be a warm coral. Now, I meant to order this shade. I'm going to go into this shade first, and I'm going to use this brush, which has been one of my favorite brushes recently to apply cream blush. This is from the Fusion set from Sonia G, and this is the mini base. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of the shade 30 and I'm just gonna apply this. That's a pretty color. That's a really pretty color. And it builds really easily. I am not a fan of the liquid, and I'll look for it. I have it somewhere, but I'm not a fan of the liquid blush from Armani, but this is really pretty. Like, look how pretty that is. Doesn't look like it has much of a shine to it. This is what that color looks like on the hand. And that's actually a really pretty color. I don't think I have anything like this in my collection in a cream form, this color. This is really pretty. Definitely different, I would say, than what I have. What I also like about this is that this doesn't have a shine to it, so it doesn't have like an emollient base. So it's not emphasizing like my pores and, you know, stuff like that that's right there on that cheek area. This is really pretty. It's more of a, I would say it's more of a satin finish. I'm going to go over top of it with my sponge just to kind of really press it and kind of blend out those edges. That is really pretty. I'm curious to see if it will fade once I put powder on because I haven't powdered yet. I'm going to wipe my brush off. I'm going to go into shade 21. I'm curious to see what this is going to look like on the skin. So I'm just going to put that like right here. This is one of those colors that kind of just gives you a tan without adding a lot of color. It has a little bit of color to it, but it looks more natural. I don't know. Definitely different than what I have. I mean, of course, I don't have anything like this in my collection. This color is not what I was thinking it was going to be. And honestly, if you wanted this look, you could probably just bring your bronzer down, right? That's kind of the vibes that it gives me. You could just bring your bronzer down onto the cheek, but it does have a tiny bit of color. That's actually better than I expected. It's not my favorite because I do like colorful blush. I like some color to my blush. Okay, so that's the shade 21 swatched. I have to give it to Armani. They kind of stepped out of the box and created something that was a little different than what's on the market. I do like how the top of this is different. So this one is the number 30 and this one is the number 21. I like how they look different on the outside. In case you have more than one, you know which one you're picking up. If they were the same color, you know how that is. But it is very seamless and it does apply really easily over powder. And I am overall very impressed with the formula. So that's it for the application. Let's jump into the swatches and comparisons, comparing these two shades next to a bunch of other shades. And then of course we will jump into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so now that we've made it through the application, the swatches and comparisons, let me go ahead and get into my final thoughts. The thing that's very interesting about these is I don't have anything like this formula in my collection. What I really like about it is that because it's that cream to powder formula, like I was saying in the intro, it's very similar to the cream to powder eyeshadow from Natasha Denona, where it's a very buildable type of formula. So as you could tell in the application, it's easy to kind of build the level of intensity, but if you're somebody that just likes a light wash of color, this is going to give it to you. There's a lot of really beautiful cream blushes out on the market, and a lot of them are very, very pigmented. So you have to go in very lightly and, you know, work to blend it out. These are on the opposite. These do not emphasize my pores in any way. They're very, very soft and very beautiful. Very impressed with this formula. If you already have cream blushes that you absolutely love, then these are not necessary, but I feel like these would be really perfect for that person that maybe doesn't like a more emollient cream blush, such as the Tower 28s. Tower 28 blush is beautiful, but it's more of an emollient base. You can kind of see You can kind of see it has more of a shine to it, and they're extremely pigmented. These from Armani, you can see that they don't have a shine to them as much as these do, and they don't emphasize in any way. So if you're somebody that has enlarged pores and maybe you've used a more emollient base cream blush and just do not love the way that it looks, this is definitely a nice formula. I feel like this is more of a polished formula for cream blushes. It's kind of the best way I can describe it. It's a fresh makeup look, but in a very polished way. So there's some of us, or some days we like to wear just really fresh looking skin. And there's other days we want the fresh look, but we want it to be more polished, a little bit more subtle, a little bit more on the softer tone. That's where these come into play. So they are different than anything I have in my collection. Armani did a fantastic job on these. Like, I am very, very impressed with the overall quality of them. Yes, you don't get very much for your money, so these are very expensive for how much you get, but it is Armani, so it's kind of to be expected. So that's it. I can't really say anything negative about these except for that price tag. Stand out down below in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts on these from Armani Beauty. I'm very curious to hear your guys' experience on these. Have you picked these up yet? If you have, share with us your thoughts and your experience. And is it different from mine? Is it similar to mine? I love hearing your guys' input, so definitely share with us in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.